We are currently under 60 grams in the competitive gaming mouse market, and the Pulsar Xlite Mini is under that at 56 grams. But does the lighter weight come at a cost? Let's start off with the build. The Xlite Mini is, as the name suggests, a smaller version of the regular Xlite mouse. The mouse is what is considered to be an ergonomic shape. Despite the lightweight, the build is sturdy. The Pulsar used rounded lines instead of the popular honeycomb design to lighten itself. While attempting to crush the mouse, there were initial creaks, but afterwards it was dead silent, despite the obscene amount of pressure I was applying to the mouse. That or I'm just weak. And despite the pressure, there is no noticeable flex. Click on the main mouse buttons are nice and snappy, they however fall onto the heavier side in comparison to my highly used G900 or relatively new G503. The same goes to the side buttons that are well placed and easy to reach, as both buttons are reachable without having to shift my grip. The middle mouse click, on the other hand, is actually lighter than other mice that I've used. The scroll wheel has light and small bumps when scrolling. One small but great feature is the scroll wheel texture. When moving between the scroll wheel and the mouse, there is almost no friction. However, you would still be able to scroll even with light pressure on the scroll wheel. Despite being a smaller mouse, I found the curve at the back of the right hand side is very noticeable, which did take some time getting used to. The stock PTF E feet are tapered off and smooth, and I didn't feel the need to replace them, unlike my experience with other stock feet. The accessories include a braided USB cable, which is actually usable in gaming as it is very flexible and doesn't have too much drag. As far as the experience using the Xlite Mini in games like Apex or Counter-Strike, I find that there was a little bit more consistency in my aim. But going to something like Aim Labs to test, I was able to get similar scores regardless of what mouse I used. I was even able to get high scores using the 100 plus gram mice I have. Mind you, I'm also not ultra competitive, as I've set the DPI to 3950, which is an ultra high sensitivity, but my aim isn't half bad either. You might find it better to train your aim instead of buying a lighter mouse. I even find myself constantly moving back to my old G900 more often than the Xlite Mini, even when I know I'm gaming in a competitive environment. Part of the reason is that the Xlite Mini is just too light, and I don't mean that in weight. Coming from the G900, I was able to do a lot more. It came down to something as simple as being able to pause a video I'm listening to while in game. Even the Model D wireless has an extra button to be able to pause whenever media is playing. You may not be looking into the Xlite Mini to use at work, but if you use it on the same computer that you do work at, you may find the Xlite Mini lacking, as there are no buttons to configure for either macros or other keyboard shortcuts. I don't know, I believe this would be more apparent when using a single monitor. I think it's just that I came from mice with at least one more button. Do you? While the lightweight and ergonomic shape can help reduce strain, it's far too light for features on work. The Xlite Mini feels great in games where quick and snappy movements are beneficial and fits well even with medium hands like mine. It is a definite upgrade if you don't need any extra mouse buttons, and if you're an ultra high sensitivity player, the sensor can go higher than 4000 dpi if you so choose. While I wouldn't recommend that, it is a trick to reduce latency. You can find info on how to do that on the video here, or you can look at other mouse videos here. Subscribe for work and gaming desktop gear reviews, and have a nice one.